So nearly 1 year ago to the day, I created a side-by-side comparison with the 2023 Elantra Limited versus the N-Line. Well, today I'm here to recreate that comparison using the new 2024 refresh models behind me because there were many notable changes for this 24 refresh, including where the N-Line sits in terms of its price point in relation to other trim levels. So in case you're unaware, the 2024 Elantra received a mid-cycle refresh, which includes updated styling, new packaging depending on the trim level that you're looking at, and of course updated features and technology. Now if you're curious about exactly what did change across every single trim, make sure to check out the dedicated changes video I have here on the channel where I go much more into detail about that. But in terms of powertrains, it's going to be a carryover with the 1.6 liter turbo for the N-Line and the 2 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder for the Limited. Now the N-Line did receive a couple nice updates, including the Bose premium audio system, Hyundai Digital Key 2.0, and a few other things that every single Elantra got for this refresh. So make sure to check that video out. But overall, the N-Line is a much better, well-rounded package. Now what's interesting about the refresh is that the price increase was not uniform whatsoever on the trim levels. The Limited, in fact, got the smallest increase out of all the trims, and the N-Line received the largest increase, which now puts the N-Line pricing much closer to that of the Elantra Limited Hybrid than that of the Limited gasoline counterpart. So as far as pricing goes for the 2024 Elantra N-Line, it now costs $29,615 including destination. The gas Elantra Limited costs $28,215, and the Elantra Limited Hybrid now costs $30,600, which represents a $1,400 increase for the N-Line in specific, and less than $1,000 for the Elantra Limited and the Elantra Limited Hybrid. So once again, when you're looking at pricing, the N-Line now sits closer, actually less than $1,000 to that of the Elantra Limited Hybrid, where it sits about $1,400 more than the gasoline Limited, which was actually not the case for last year's comparison when I made that video. So that is part of the reason why I think it is relevant to look at these two side by side once again behind me, because I think the Limited Hybrid actually has a pretty good value proposition in regards to the N-Line when you look at them side by side and look at what each one has to offer. But of course, the N-Line has unique styling, of course, the different powertrain setup, and a host of other benefits that are specific to the N-Line package that unfortunately you can't get on the Limited in general. Now to run through some of the exact feature differences that you're going to get between the N-Line and the Limited. Of course, the N-Line has the 1.6 liter turbo with the 7-speed dual clutch. It has the multi-link independent rear suspension. It has stiffer spring rates, larger front brake rotors, 18-inch alloy wheels, unique N styling cues including the front and rear bumpers, the interior red accents, etc. Now moving on to the features that you're going to gain for the Limited, either in its gas or hybrid counterpart. I've denoted them up on the screen so you guys can follow along as to which one is a gas only or a hybrid only feature. The Limited still has several nice features over that of the N-Line, including the surround view monitor system, the blind spot view monitor only on the gas versions, front and rear parking sensors, the more advanced forward collision avoidance with pedestrian, cyclist, junction turning, etc., smart cruise control, electronic parking brake, highway drive assist 1, auto dimming interior rearview mirror, memory driver seat, and ventilated front seats, which are exclusive to the Hybrid Limited that unfortunately you will not get on the gas Limited. But as you can see, there's still quite a few features that you have to go to either one of the Limited trim levels that you still won't find on the N-Line. So now that you guys know a little bit more about the exact pricing differences as well as the feature differences between either the gas Limited or the Hybrid Limited and that of the N-Line, I want to go ahead and take a look at each of these two vehicles behind me because they do come in within $1,000 of each other, or right around $1,000, and see exactly what each one has to offer here in person for the 2024 refresh. So let's go ahead and take a look at these vehicles behind me and see what they look like side by side. So on my left, I have a 2024 Elantra Limited Hybrid finished in Ecotronic Gray with the black H-Tex leatherette on the inside. And on my right, I have a 2024 N-Line finished in Abyss Black, and of course the only interior option, which is a two material leatherette / cloth insert with black and red accents throughout. So like I said, these cars actually come in right around $1,000 difference in terms of MSRP on the window sticker. So I think it is very relevant to compare each of these two, specifically here in the Hybrid Limited, now that the N-Line sits much closer in price to this vehicle than the gasoline counterpart. which is actually substantially less than that of that N-Line over there, even though the Gasoline Limited in some regard still offers a lot more in terms of features, options, and technology than this vehicle, but this one is certainly more geared towards the enthusiasts with the a little bit additional performance of the 1.6 liter turbo, multi-link independent rear suspension, which actually the hybrid variant has as well, slightly larger brakes, etc. So certainly some different demographics, or target demographics, if you will, between each of these, but in terms of pricing, they really aren't too far off. So starting at the front end of each of these two vehicles, for 2024, every Elantra now comes standard with LED projector headlights, daytime running lights, and turn signals in the same overall housing, but you can see immediately in terms of the design and the front bumper, that is going to be where these two definitely differ. Now the N-Line gets more of the full end styling cues for the refresh, which means the bumper shape is much more closer to that of the full performance N variant than it was for the pre-facelift models, where it had totally unique styling and bumper designs compared to that of the N. So we'll go ahead and start here on the Limited on my left. Once again, full LED projector headlights. You can see the silver strip that runs across and connects each of the two. You have some nice gloss black accents at the bottom for some of the aerodynamic treatments. The Hybrid Limited, unfortunately, does not get the 360 surround view monitor. It only gets front and rear parking sensors for some reason, versus that of the Gasoline Limited. Not sure why Hyundai made them different like that, but that is the case for this refresh. And moving over here to the N-Line, same exact lighting setup for the headlights. And as you can see, the more aggressive front bumper certainly looks a lot better in my opinion, but certainly is not for everybody if they don't want to stand out with all this bright satin silver trim at the front end, and of course all those gloss black accents. No front and rear parking sensors on this particular vehicle, but you still do get the nice satin flat Hyundai logo, which all Elantras for the refresh do get, and you will find unique N-Line badging here on the passenger side of the vehicle. Now taking a look around the side of the two, starting out with the wheel and tire setup, this is going to be another key difference. You're going to get 18-inch N-Line specific wheels over here on the left versus the 17-inch alloy wheels on either the Limited or the Hybrid Limited, which share the exact same design. Slightly wider tire over here, I believe it's a 235 versus that of a 225. This is going to be a slightly higher performance all season versus the standard all season over there, which are the Kinergy GT. I personally do prefer the gunmetal metallic flake over here on the N-Line with the N logo center cap, but of course those are still going to be very good looking wheels over here on the Limited. I really do like them in general, so that's going to be a difference. Of course, your N-Line badging here on the fender is going to be specific to this one. I believe on every single Elantra N-Line, this one just is black on black, so a little bit hard to distinguish there, but you have the LED turn signal integration, no cameras on the bottom, but they are going to be heated and do feature blind spot detection as standard. This one's going to have body color accent mirror caps, same lighting setup. This one being the Hybrid Limited does not have the cameras on the bottom either, but if you do get a gas model, it will have the cameras, and the same heated with blind spot detection. Both these vehicles are going to have Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 on the front door handles, so they're going to be the same in that regard. You get all the gloss black beltline molding, A, B, and C pillar trim over here with the N-Line. And you can see on the regular Elantra, you're going to have the satin steel along the bottom of the window with the matte black pillars instead of gloss black, just because that's what the standard Elantra gets. Both vehicles are going to have the single power sunroof in the front occupants with the shark fin antenna. And then coming out back, you can see the N-Line styling is going to match the front end with a lot of that aggressive styling, silver accent design cues around the exhaust tip here on the passenger side, which is actually not found on the Limited. You have the full LED tail lamps, or I should say LED plus bulb tail lamps, which gives you the LED brake lights and running lights up top, but incandescent reverse and turn signal bulbs in the clear housing. There's all of the new Elantra badging for the refresh. Slightly raised gloss black rear spoiler. Again, hard to see the exact difference there, but that is going to be unique to the N-Line. And yeah, that's a look here at the rear end of the N-Line. And then moving over here to the Limited, as you can see, slightly different styling for the bumper because it is just an entirely different shape and different painted elements. So you have the little silver trim that wraps around the entire width. Still pretty aggressive on the lower diffuser area, and the tail lamps are going to be different with the red accented housing for the tail lamp portion, but you're still going to have the LED running light that spans the entire width of the vehicle and trunk lid. And there's the Elantra badging with the unique hybrid badge over here on the passenger side. And as you can see, no raised lip spoiler, just the normal deck lid that you'll find on every Elantra out there. So that's a quick look at the exterior. Side skirts here are present on the N-Line and not going to be found over there on that particular vehicle. But yeah, you have to let me know down in the comment section below which one you think is the better looking Elantra. I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to personal preference. Which one do you think fits your taste and overall style better? Personally, I really do like the Elantra N-Line, but I think the standard Elantra, specifically here in the limited trim, looks great as well. So now that we know a little bit more about the outside differences, I want to jump onto the interior on both of these. Now, once again, this is the Elantra Limited Hybrid, which actually has 3 interior colors available: black, gray, as well as a sage gray, which is a greenish interior, which I do have a dedicated video here on the channel going over all of the interior options. Starting out here on the door panel, you can see this is mostly the normal panel design. It's nice soft touch materials here in the middle section, as well as the armrest. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver's side window. The Limited Hybrid in specific does add the memory seat functionality, as well as ventilated front seats. So a pretty nice feature set there. Of course, Bose premium audio system, power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar, and the same H-Tex leatherette seating surfaces that you will find in the standard gasoline power Limited as well. So overall, same feature set, just a few nicer premium additions. As you can see in front of the driver, the 10.25-inch digital cluster and infotainment system still remain from the pre-facelift versions. Nice leather-wrapped steering wheel with all of your audio, multimedia, driver safety systems. It does have smart cruise control with highway drive assist, lane follow assist, blind spot warning, etc. There's the automatic headlights, auto high beam assist, 12-volt battery reset specific to the hybrid. Then coming down, all of the physical buttons and controls: dual zone automatic climate, heated and ventilated seats, hybrid limited only. The standard gas limited will only have heated seats. There's the shifter. Of course, Hyundai Digital Key 2.0, wireless charging pad down there, USB-C integration for the refresh. We have the buttons for the camera systems. The gas limited, not this hybrid, will have the 360 surround view monitor. This one only has front and rear parking sensors. Nice gloss black trim here down the center console, 2 large cup holders. There's the center console armrest. It is going to be padded. Still have this color matched plastic divider between the front seats. Lighter gray accent headliner. Vanity illumination is incandescent. Auto dimming interior rearview mirror, no garage home link unfortunately. We have overhead incandescent lighting, but you do have the power sunroof, Blue Link SOS up there, and there's a look at that. So very nice interior. Hopefully you guys can take some mental notes on some of the materials across the dash. Our silver accent and where some of all the soft touch areas are at. But that's going to be a look at the front. Let's go and take a quick look out back before we jump over to the N-Line. All the materials from the front except the padded armrest do fall through to the back. So same soft touch here in the middle of the door panel. And of course, the seating materials are going to be the same as the front. And then in terms of rear seat amenities, we do have 2 USB-C charge ports, no AC vents out back, 1 map net on the passenger side. And then there's going to be a quick look at the dashboard. You do get 60/40 split folding seats in both of these vehicles with 2 cup holders here in the pull-down armrest. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it in terms of the Elantra Limited. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Elantra N-Line over here and show you all the unique aspects about the interiors, including the front seats. So take a look. This is the only interior color combination available on the N-Line, so all of them will come exactly like you see here. On the door panel, immediately you can see some of the materials will carry over, but they're going to be unique red accent stitching throughout, including in this portion right here. Same soft touch padded armrest, power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic driver's side window. As you can see, no memory driver's seat on this particular vehicle, but you do get the nice dark chrome tweeter grille there. Still have the Bose premium audio system. There's the power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar. And immediately you can see these seats are going to be entirely different in terms of their shape as well as their materials. With the red accent piping, you have the N embossed here in the backrest portion, nice leather headliner. And there's going to be a dashboard with, once again, many unique aspects. So stepping inside and starting it up. As you can see in front of the driver, you still have the same digital technology setup with the fully digital cluster and infotainment system, which are standard on the SEL trim level and higher. But in front of the driver, you'll immediately find the totally different steering wheel shape and design. And this is because it is the full N performance steering wheel with the enlarged paddle shifters finished in the dark chrome accent on the backside. Of course, you have the N logo here at the bottom. And overall, I really do like the steering wheel. I actually have this exact one in my personal vehicle. It's slightly thicker in the hand than that of the standard Elantra steering wheel or Hyundai steering wheels in general. Has a nice perforated leather accent on the left and right hand side. And the buttons and everything are just fantastic to use. You have the flat Hyundai logo here on the airbag cover, audio multimedia on the left side. You have the regular cruise control and lane follow assist on the right, so it does not have adaptive cruise control, but still does have lane follow assist. Same automatic headlights with auto high beam assist. As you can see, less buttons over here to the left of the vehicle, just traction control off. So in this vehicle, you have normal, sport, and smart drive modes, which do change the cluster, as you can see right there. Infotainment system still going to have built-in navigation. Unfortunately, no wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, only wired in both of these. Little red accent here around the start-stop button. Dual zone automatic climate control with heated front seats still here. And you can see the shifter itself is actually going to have a different shift knob on it, as well as a leather stitched boot with red accents, which you will not find in any other variant. There's your Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 pad, as well as wireless charging, USB-C. All that is going to be the same. Less buttons here on the side of the console because you do have less features inside this vehicle, but you can still pull up the rear backup camera. No parking sensors like I mentioned in this particular one, so just that backup camera, unlike the other vehicles. You have a manual e-brake, so you don't have an electronic type, which would normally be found right next to the shifter. So this is the good old trusty manual one. There's the same exact key fob. And in terms of the cup holder layout, it's going to be totally different because of this e-brake. So instead you have one larger cup holder, one smaller one with the insert that you can remove for those smaller cans. Center armrest is going to be the same overall space and padded design. And as you can see, you have less gloss black that runs across the center console in the divider over here than that of the Limited, which I just showed in that particular vehicle. Up top, every N-Line is going to come with black cloth headliner, same lighting setup for vanity illumination, manual dimming interior rearview mirror, still have the incandescent lighting with your power sunroof controls up top. So this trim will still get you the power sunroof, which is actually found on the SEL Convenience and Hire for 2024. So yeah, pretty similar in terms of the overall feel inside the cabin, but I will say the front seats are going to be the biggest difference, as well as all of the red accent cues, and the lesser gloss black plastic does make a difference down here as well. But Hyundai did do a good job of differentiating the feel inside this vehicle, with all of the touch points being just a tad different and a tad more on the sporty side, including the steering wheel, the shift knob, the seats, to make it feel like it is a substantial difference versus that of the Limited, which overall it really isn't all that different in terms of features and options, but just mainly those touch points and appearance bits. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back seat real quick. Materials will follow through from the front or be the same as the Limited, so soft touch padded, hard touch armrest. Seating materials are going to mimic that of the front seat with the leatherette and cloth inserts. Still have two USB-C charge ports, standard on every Elantra, no AC vents, and you also do not get the passenger seat mat pocket on that seat, unfortunately. Here's a quick look at the dashboard. And you still have the 60/40 split folding seats in this trim level with the pull-down armrest, two cup holders inside. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it here in the back. I really do actually like this pattern insert here on the N-Line with the red accents on the outside. I think it actually breaks up the inside quite a bit, even though it is a little bit still on the darker side of things. So yeah, overall, you can see the differences on the N-Line will mimic that of the previous model years. There's a look at the trunk lid. Trunk space between the Limited and the N-Line is going to be pretty much identical. You still have the pull tabs for the 60/40 seats. There's the illumination on the top side, and there's the subwoofer for the Bose premium audio system up there. In terms of a spare tire, you will find a temporary spare tire in both of these vehicles with the roadside toolkit in the center. The hybrid might actually only get a tire mobility kit, if I'm not mistaken, on this particular one. So we'll go ahead and check really quick so I get you that exact information. But the gasoline Limited should have a temporary spare tire, And yes, you'll only get a tire mobility kit for the Limited, but the Gasoline Limited, I believe, will have a temporary spare tire just like that of the N-Line over there. So I think that's going to do it here for this 2024 Elantra N-Line versus Limited side-by-side comparison. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel in these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think of this comparison down in the comment section below. I know I was referencing the gas Elantra Limited and the hybrid Limited several times, and if you have any questions or are confused about anything, leave a comment. I will do my best to answer them. But overall, there really isn't too much difference between the gas Limited and the hybrid. It's going to be the memory driver's seat, the ventilated front seats on the hybrid only, and you are going to get the multi-link independent rear suspension on the hybrid as well, versus the torsion beam on the gas Limited, in addition to, of course, the hybrid powertrain that every Elantra hybrid gets over that of the standard gasoline model. But outside of that, relatively similar to between the two trim levels. But the main point of this video, I think, is going to be that the Elantra N-Line has gotten the biggest price increase year after year versus that of the other trim levels, to the point where it's not quite the most expensive option in the normal Elantra lineup outside of the high performance N variant, but it's now the second most expensive one you can get behind the Elantra Limited Hybrid, and the most expensive, I guess, gas only, if you will, Elantra, again, outside of the N variant. So for about $30,000, you know, which one would you choose? Would you go the hybrid Limited, or you stick here with the N-Line? Would you save thousands of dollars and stick with the gas only Limited, which I think is actually a pretty good value in the grand scheme of the Elantra lineup in general? So, you know, I totally understand, I guess, what people might be, you know, a little hesitant to go with the N-Line. But again, I still think it has a place in the market given its sporty aesthetics. The 1.6 liter turbo under the hood certainly is a pretty torquey motor for a vehicle of this size and weight. And of course, you get the 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which is a love it or hate it type of thing. And I really did wish I had an exotic green N-Line, which is an all-new, brand-new color for the 2024 model year to show you guys. But I'm sure there's other videos here on the internet or pictures out there of you guys to show that. But the exotic green is only exclusive to the N-Line trim level. Can't get it on any other Elantra. And I think that color alone would bring some appeal to the Elantra N-Line, just because you simply can't get that color on any other vehicle or trim level. So yeah, that's pretty much, I think, going to be my final thoughts. Which one would I choose? Well, to be honest, I would probably lean towards one of the Limited trims, depending on whether or not you want the hybrid powertrain versus that of the gas, or you want the ventilated front seats. For example, you have to go with the hybrid version. But nonetheless, I think the Elantra Limiteds in general are going to be slightly better bang for the buck versus the N-Line here, even though I do absolutely love the N styling. You know, I love the 1.6 liter turbo, not so much the dual clutch, but that's a totally different topic for another day. But, you know, I really do like the N-Line stuff, but I think the price point is my biggest sticking factor, unfortunately, even though they did make several improvements, including standard LED projector headlights, the Bose premium audio system, digital key 2.0, etc. I just still think it's slightly too priced. I still think it's just slightly high in terms of the price department when you're comparing it to the Elantra Limited, unfortunately. So that's going to be my pick. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree with my evaluation? Do you think one is a better value than the other? Or, you know, what are your overall thoughts if you were in the market for a compact sedan? Let me know down in the comment section below. But with all that being said, I appreciate the continued support here on the channel. Make sure you guys follow us on social media. Check out the website if you haven't already, and consider becoming a channel member to support the channel even further on a month-to-month basis. It really helps out the channel and creating this video for you guys. So make sure you guys check that out if you guys are interested in supporting us even further. But with all that being said, I appreciate the continued support and hope to see you guys in the next one.